Today I'm going to tell you guys my best tips on how to sew on a budget. Hey guys, it's Maya. I'm a sewist, crafter, and digital creator, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I want to share how to sew on a budget, all my tips and tricks that I have learned over the past years of sewing. So the first one is obviously a sewing machine. You're going to need a sewing machine if you want to learn how to sew, and you can get them for a fairly inexpensive price or maybe even free. Ask your friends and family if somebody has a sewing machine that you can borrow just to see if you like the craft, get your foot in the door. I'm sure there's somebody around that will lend you a sewing machine just to start out. Otherwise, there's some libraries that actually rent them out. I've never done it, but I've heard from a few friends, and I think more libraries should definitely do this because it's a great way for people to be creative. I mean, sewing as a skill is just so awesome. There's so many different things that you can do with it. So check the libraries, check the thrift stores as well. I have bought a few sewing machines from the thrift stores that were in great condition. Make sure that they work. Make sure that there's a pedal, the motor works, make sure the needle goes up and down. But if you do get a second-hand sewing machine, always replace the needle. You don't know how long that needle has been in there, how long somebody's been sewing on it. Plug it in at the thrift store, make sure that it works, and you can find some really good deals. If you do want to invest in a sewing machine, I would definitely recommend this one. I love the Singer Heavy Duty. The model is 4423. It's a great beginner basic sewing machine. I recommend it to anybody. I have sewn so many different things, so many different fabrics, and it has kept up super well. So let's talk about material, because material can be really expensive or it can be really inexpensive. It just depends on where you are looking and how you are looking for it. So one of my favorites is looking at thrift stores. A lot of the times they have discounted fabric by the yard. You can also use bed sheets to practice on. I've made full outfits, dresses out of bed sheets before, and it's a great way to get a big piece of material for a really small price. You can also use garments as material. So I do this a lot. I'll look at the garment and just think of what I can make out of the material. You can also check garage sales and estate sales for the same thing. Another place I like to look is the remnant section of fabric stores. So this is usually the end of the bolt, and the bolt is what the yard of fabric comes on. Usually when it gets to the end, they will discount that price. So you can find a lot of good material, a lot of different kind of material in the remnant section for almost half the price of what you would normally pay for it. Just to give you an idea on what a good price for a yard of fabric is, $2 to $5 is like a really good deal. Obviously, it all depends on the fabric that you're buying, but that's like a really good deal. From $5 to $10 is more of the normal price, but it's still on like the really good deal side. And then from $10 to $20 is a little bit more expensive. But obviously it just depends on what kind of material. Some of the material that you can find more on the cheaper side are like cotton, some knits, maybe some crepe, and then on the expensive side can be like linen, silk, denim. So it just depends, but that gives you a really good price point of what to look for. The cheapest way to find fabric is what you already have. So look and see if you have old bed sheets that you don't use or old clothes that you don't use. You can really be creative with what is around you. It's one of my favorite things to do is think outside the box and use something that's not supposed to be that and just use it for the fabric. So let's talk about patterns. So when I first started getting into making my own clothes, I had no idea that you can print out patterns. They're called PDF patterns. You print them out, you tape them or glue them together, and then you cut the pattern out and then you use that. It's really awesome because you can do it from home, and there are so many good pattern makers out there, pattern designers. And it's a really fun way to support the sewing community and these designers. And a lot of the times they are very inexpensive. You can also find free PDF patterns out there. There are so many good tutorials out there that you can find for free. I have a free tutorial on how to make this tote bag, which is super fun. It's a great size. So if you want to make a cute tote bag, go check out that video. You can also find patterns at thrift stores. A lot of vintage patterns are there, and I think they're really good to look at and learn from. And another way to get cheaper patterns is to wait until they're on sale. Joann always has sales all the time, and you can get them for a really good price. I think right now they're on sale for like $2, and normally they're around like $10 to $15 or $20. So wait until they're on sale and stock up. And the last thing is using coupons. It's a great way to invest in bigger things that you know is going to help you in your sewing life. Joann always has coupons. Download their app, you buy something, they usually give you some. And I've bought bigger things like a huge cutting mat that's usually $60, and I use a 50% coupon and I got it for $30. So it's kind of like a game, and it's fun because that's what they're there for. Also, if you bring things into Savers, which is a thrift store around me, they always give me a 20% coupon. So the thing about sewing is it's so creative. So use what is around you. It doesn't have to be super expensive. It can be super expensive. Let me tell you, it can be. But when you're first starting out, learn the basics, use the basics, and then have your craft be a journey and an evolution in your skill. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and these tips really help you to save some extra money and makes you want to start sewing, because it really is such an awesome skill and there's so many things that you can do with it. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram and TikTok at MayaKMade, and I will see you in the next video.